Sculpt. Sculpt? Sculpt. So I did a Sculpt class today with Jeannie, I think was her name, or Gina, I can't really remember. She's been teaching since October Sculpt, and since last July or May, hot yoga. And so she's pretty new to it. She's pretty good at it. It definitely could have been harder in certain parts. I feel like she could have done a little bit more in certain areas, but it was actually perfect for me because, as you may know, I never do these Sculpt classes. I'm not really a huge fan of them, in part because I think they're fairly high risk of injury, even for someone like me who I like to think I know the body fairly well in terms of structural integrity and healthy movement patterns. They're just sort of risky in some movements. A lot of those Warrior 2 movements that we like to do in them is just sort of not conducive of healthy weightlifting. Joint mobility, sure. Weightlifting, not so much. It's an exercise that'll build muscle, but it's not a structurally sound position to be in. That said, I had a great fucking time. I definitely would teach a Sculpt a little bit differently. There's a lot of stuff I'd try and avoid and a lot of things that I'd like to add in. For instance, this class was fairly arm and shoulder heavy, but not very back heavy, and there wasn't very much chest, but I worry more about the back heavy because that's kind of the most important muscle that you'd want to build in a Sculpt class, because that's the only muscle that really doesn't get touched in vinyasa. So I think that a Sculpt class that doesn't emphasize the back is kind of missing the goal of Sculpt as a piece of the comprehensive pie or puzzle that is core power, or that core power wants to be. But like I said, I thought it was great and I had a lot of fun. I think that's the biggest draw for Sculpt, is just how fucking fun they are. I mean, damn, like when you're jumping around in cardio and some songs that you bump normally when you're chilling or partying are on anyways, and you're just crushing it, like it is so much fun. So I totally feel that. Cardi B came on and I went off. Can't believe I'm saying that, but it's so true. And one thing is that I knew going into this class that it was going to be fun, and I'm pretty good at the fun and the surrender aspect of Sculpt, where I just let myself go in, but there were two things I really wanted to focus on, which was one, self-moderation, not overdoing it, because the last two Sculpts I've been to, which is over the course of 9 months or so, I blew out my quads in the most recent one, and I blew out my biceps in the one before that, with about a 3-month gap in between and a 6-month gap between the most recent one and this one. Because I just get so into it and I go too hard because my mind is stronger than my body in some of those exercises with that tempo, frequency, and lack of rest intervals. This class had slightly more rest intervals, so there was actually more of an ability to make it an interval workout as opposed to just a flat cardio type thing. So I really liked it. And I also focused, in addition to that moderation, on being grounded during it. It was great that we did the jump rope in between each one because I could really focus on pounding my heels into the ground, which would then allow me to really ground down and open the musculature in my tongue, jaw, throat, heart, belly, sex center, and root. And that allowed me to then come at the class from a more beneficial, transcendent perspective. So thanks, Jeannie, for the awesome class. Like I said, it was a blast. Stayed grounded. I would change it up a little bit. I would throw in more back, but I thought it was great. Thanks. Peace.